As winters loom, the pollution levels in Delhi NCR region have shot up to 4 times above the permissible limit. The average air quality index of the national capital is at 367 points. This means that the air quality is very poor. In a bid to curb worsening air pollution, the Supreme Court of India has prohibited the plying of 15-year-old petrol and 10-year-old diesel vehicles in the national capital region. It also directed the Transport Department to take action against those who do not comply with the directives. All vehicles that emit smoke will be immediately impounded. While terming the prevailing situation in Delhi NCR region very critical, the court has directed Central Pollution Control Board to create a social media account on which citizens could lodge their complaints directly about pollution. Taxis and autos have been encouraged to use clean fuel. The fall in air quality comes as no surprise, and stubble burning is not the only reason behind the toxic air, which is severely affecting health of its citizens. Take a look at these figures. There has been a 40% increase in vehicular pollution from 2010 to 2018. Industrial pollution has increased by 48% and contributes a significant amount to Delhi's pollution woes. According to the latest World Health Organization report, air pollution kills 7 million people each year. The report also states that 93% of the world's children under the age of 15 are affected by poisonous air, damaging their intelligence and causing hundreds and thousands of deaths due to acute lower respiratory infections. Pregnant women, the elderly and people from low-income households are also vulnerable to adverse effects of air pollution.
More than 7 million deaths, premature deaths, are occurring every year due to exposure to air pollution. And for that, we need solutions. And those solutions are there. We need to call. This is an urgent call to everyone who can provide solutions, because we need to scale up dramatically the response to fight air pollution.
With just a few days to go for the Indian Festival of Lights, Diwali, India's Environment Minister Harsh Vardhan has said it's unlikely that the green crackers will be available in the market soon. On 24th of August, Indian top court had ordered that only green crackers would be allowed for sale during the festive season. The court also set the timing to light crackers from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. during Diwali. Supreme Court's decision came as Delhi's pollution levels over the last few years earned it the dubious distinction as one of the world's most polluted cities. So what exactly is a green cracker? Simply put, these crackers do not contain harmful chemicals or contain limited amount of harmful chemicals, hence they are green or environment friendly. Some of the common pollution-causing chemicals used in firecrackers are aluminium, barium, potassium nitrate and carbon. All of these chemicals have either been removed or sharply reduced in the green crackers. As a result, emission of pollutants have been reduced by 15 to 30%. Scientists have also developed prototypes that do not emit sulfur dioxide. Some of these crackers can even reduce particulate matter by 40%. Green crackers have been divided under 3 categories. The first is safe, water release or the SWAS. The second is called the safe thermite cracker. It's also known as the star. And finally, the last one is called the safe minimal aluminium. The green crackers have been tested for color, smoke, particulate matter and brightness. It was found to emit less smoke and noise. Another good news being the cost of manufacturing these crackers is 30% lesser than the polluted crackers. The green crackers also do not require new or refined machinery for its production. They can be manufactured by using existing machines. Scientists have been working on these crackers for over 10 months now. The cost of the research was 65 lakhs. After the Lion Air flight plunged into the Sea of Jakarta on Sunday, Indonesia has ordered inspection for all Boeing 737 MAX 8 planes. The country has stepped up search and rescue efforts. So far, 10 bodies have been recovered from the crash site. Rescue teams are deploying underwater beacons to trace its black box recorders and uncover why an almost new plane crashed minutes after takeoff. The search and rescue teams are using 4 sonar detectors in areas where aircraft debris was found. 15 vessels are scouring the sea surface.
05 derajat 50.532 menit. 1207.
Retrieving the cockpit voice and data recorders of Lion Air Flight 610 has been the focus for investigators in Indonesia. If the black box is located, then investigators can get a clue as to why the passenger plane crashed. At Jakarta, sport officers laid out items retrieved from the sea ranging from oxygen bottles to personal belongings such as wallets, a mobile phone, cash and backpacks. Despite failure to locate the flight data recorders after the initial 24-hour search, the chief of the National Search and Rescue Agency expressed confidence that search and recovery operation would go undisturbed in the coming days thanks to favorable weather conditions. Wion correspondent Patrick Falk in Jakarta gets us more updates on this story.
What we've heard so far is that actually most of the debris was removed from the surface over the last day and a half or so, and actually the focus now is using sonar technology to find the main wreckage, the main body of the plane under the surface of the water. We also learned that there have been offers of help from Argentina, the USA, Singapore and Malaysia, but also there was a question that was brought up during the press conference about whether or not the Lion Air flight was fit to fly. Now, authorities didn't exactly, from what I understand, give an entirely clear response on who was responsible for making that decision, but it is certainly something that it is looking into. We've also heard reports that there may be 2 additional bodies that have been retrieved just in the last couple of hours. That's 2 additional bodies to the 10 that you mentioned earlier on, although we do need to verify that report. And as you say, the main focus right now is on retrieving the missing bodies and also the black box recorder to find out what exactly happened.
We have retrieved at least 10 body bags from the site, and our operation has been continuous for 24 hours except for diving due to choppy waters and strong current. But the dive operation has resumed from 6 AM local time. Today we will continue to search on surface and underwater. We will use a piece of equipment called multi-beam echo sounder that allows us to see the objects underwater.
Now, it's been a day after an Indonesian flight crashed into the sea. Family members of those on board Indonesia's doomed Lion Air plane are hoping for a miracle. They gathered at the crisis centers set up at the hospital and the airport, waiting for any news of their family and friends. Lion Air has said that human remains were collected in 24 body bags. The bodies were recovered in waters about 30 to 35 meters deep. The bags were then taken to a hospital for identification. More details are expected overnight.
Kakak saya Bambang Rozali Usman saat ini sudah terdaftar di manifest dari pesawat yang Lion Air ini di nomor 165, tetapi kami masih berharap lah, mudah-mudahan Allah memberi mukjizat, beliau masih sehat gitu, mungkin terdampar atau di mana gitu.
Ya, soal ikhlas, dan ikhlas itu Tuhan yang nentuin, kita tidak bisa apa-apa. Ya, kita doakan supaya ketemulah tim SAR, dia cepat ketemu. Kita doakan begitu aja. Minta bantuan Polri, bantu juga supaya cepat. Kita doakan begitu aja.
Moving on, at least 9 people died on Monday in Italy as fierce winds and rains lashed much of the country. Nearly 3/4 of Venice was flooded. Some 43 inches of water covered the lagoon city's most famous square, making it almost impossible to see where the land ended and the sea began. Residents and businesses typically reinforce their doors with metal or wooden panels to prevent water from entering the ground floors. Officials issued multiple weather warnings, with many local authorities urging people not to travel unless absolutely necessary. Schools across Italy have also been closed as a precaution. Dozens of trees were reportedly uprooted across Rome, and many parks and tourist sites were closed, including the Roman Forum and Colosseum.
Il problema di ieri è stato che innanzitutto il terreno è stato asciutto e nell'arco di 24 ore è caduta parecchia acqua, circa 200 mm, e quindi questo crea grossi problemi per i versanti. In questo caso questo versante è stato inibito d'acqua e con l'aumento di peso ha creato questa colata di versante che ha invaso la strada statale.
And with that, it's a wrap on this bulletin. Stay tuned to Wion. World is One for more news and updates.